Hello, and welcome to Djanko TV. Are you ready to dive into the world of magic and mystery? Because today, we're talking about the best fantasy shows on Netflix. Whether you're in the mood for dragons, wizards, or enchanted creatures, we've got you covered with our top picks. Number 1. Lock and Key. Despite its immense success and Eisner Award win, Lock and Key, the graphic novel series of the same name by Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez, struggled to be adapted for the screen. That is, until Netflix stepped in. The long-anticipated Key series follows the Locke family, Nina and her children Tyler, Kinsey, and Bode, as they move to the little town of Matheson following the murder of the Locke patriarch, Rendell. The ancestral home distracts the children before they start uncovering secret keys with magical properties. The keys unlock more than just magic, though, as an old forgotten evil arrives to torment the family and those they care about. Lock and Key is a gripping show that balances its youthful protagonists with mysteries and shocking twists. The show manages to keep readers of the graphic novels engaged while welcoming new viewers as well. The production design is outstanding and leans heavily into the source material. The combination of genres means this show appeals to a wide audience. Number 2. The Bastard Son and the Devil Himself. Adapted for television by Joe Barton and based on the novel Bad Half, The Bastard Son and the Devil Himself is a deviously engaging supernatural series that was tragically cut short. The series follows Nathan, the illegitimate teenage son of a powerful witch, caught in the middle of a battle between two powerful factions. As Nathan's powers begin to blossom, so does the fear left by his father's destructive and lethal legacy. The Bastard Son and the Devil Himself explores themes of nature versus nurture, family dynamics, and good versus evil through the 8-episode series, begging to be binged again and again. Number 3. The Order. Created by Dennis Heaton and Shelley Erickson, The Order is a tragically short-lived, thrilling fantasy series about magic and monsters. Jake Manley stars as a college freshman at Belgrave University determined to uncover family secrets while being recruited by a secret society participating in the war between werewolves and dark magic. Alongside Manley, The Order stars Sarah Gray and Adam DeMarco as fellow students and practitioners of dangerous magic. An exciting, whimsical drama with intricate mythology, The Order has a dark edge full of high-stakes adventure. Number 4. The Letter for the King. Amir Wilson stars in The Letter for the King, a coming-of-age fantasy miniseries inspired by Tom Dragg's beloved best-selling novel. Developed for the streamer by Will Davies, The Letter for the King tells the tale of Tiyuri, a teen squire who eagerly accepts a dangerous mission to deliver a letter to his king in hopes of one day earning knighthood. With an epic quest that leads him across 3 kingdoms, Tiyuri and his crew of passionate companions encounter a range of foes, both magical and human, intent on derailing his goal of saving the world from being thrust into darkness. Number 5. The Sandman. Based on the comics also by Neil Gaiman, The Sandman is a grand, time-traveling story that focuses on the King of Dreams, who, after being imprisoned by a mortal wizard for decades, goes on a quest to reclaim his lost items of power and bring back order to his realm called the Dreaming. With gorgeously grand production design and stunning performances, the series does an impeccable job adapting its source material, not an easy feat considering its complex plots and rich themes. Offering an excellent combination of breathtaking fantasy, compelling drama, and even supernatural horror, The Sandman is one of a kind. Number 6. Warrior Nun. Based on the comic book character by Ben Dunn, Warrior Nun revolves around 19-year-old Ava Silva, who grew up in a Catholic orphanage and wakes up in a morgue with a halo in her back, one that gives her superpowers and allows her to walk for the first time in over a decade. However, there is a catch. The artifact was put into her by a group of, you guessed it, warrior nuns who battle demons and recruit Ava to join them. Fans of shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and First Kill are sure to enjoy this particular brand of coming-of-age chaos. Number 7. First Kill. First Kill is a modern supernatural series that elegantly embraces Romeo and Juliet overtones, envisioning the star-crossed lovers as a vampire and vampire hunter. First Kill unfolds beautifully with a young adult-leaning dramatic lesbian romance starring Sarah Catherine Hook and Imani Lewis in the lead roles of Juliet and Calliope, respectively. With gorgeous visuals and a unique aesthetic, First Kill mesmerizes as the story builds upon non-stop romance, adventure, and impressive action sequences. Number 8. Fate: The Winx Saga. Based on the animated Winx Club series, Netflix's live-action Fate: The Winx Saga follows newly discovered Fairy Bloom as she begins her magical schooling at Alphea, a college for fairies and specialists alike. But with Bloom's reappearance comes the reappearance of old foes, the Burned Ones. As Bloom and her friends grow closer and experience the joys and pains of being a teenager, the threat of the Burned Ones and other dark forces grows. This live-action take on this incredible magical world has no shortage of magic, drama, and beautiful relationships to explore. It's also been compared to the CW's Riverdale, partially because it will have you hooked from the end of the first episode. Number 9. Shadow and Bone. Based on the Grishaverse books by Leigh Bardugo, Shadow and Bone tells the story of a girl who discovers one day that not only does she have magical powers and is a Grisha, basically a witch, but she is one of the rarest types of Grisha, a sun summoner, someone who can manipulate the light. In a war-torn fantastical world, she must face a foreboding and handsome general, court politics, and even tangle with a group of foreign thieves. Eric Heiserer's interpretation of the Grishaverse combines both of Bardugo's early series, the Shadow and Bone trilogy and the Six of Crows duology. It blends the war epic of the former series with the heist nature of the latter to surprising success. For those looking for a new fantastical world to dive into, look no further. Number 10. The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance. It's hard to overstate how amazing The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance is. You don't have to be super familiar with Jim Henson's original movie that created a cult following back in 1982, but it certainly helps to understand what goes on in this prequel series. However, you could come into the Netflix show blind and still walk away with an appreciation for the solid fantasy story, the incredible production value, and the world's top puppeteers plying their craft in one of the best suspensions of disbelief ever seen on TV. But if you need a little plot nugget to get you going, essentially The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance sees the elf-like gelflings overcoming their tribal differences in order to escape from the oppressive rule of the villainous and reptilian Skeksis. The 10 currently available episodes introduce compelling characters from all walks of life on the alien planet of Thra and have already inspired a whole new generation of the Dark Crystal fans. And this is only phase 1, there's hopefully more to come, but if you can't get enough from the series itself, be sure to seek out the behind-the-scenes documentary, also available on Netflix. That's it for today's video on the best fantasy shows on Netflix. We hope you found a new show to add to your watch list. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more great content from Djanko TV. And if you have any other favorite fantasy shows on Netflix, let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.